Welcome everyone. So this light is coming. I will close this one. Yes. So
Sounds
no,
like you're wrapping up a presentation,
no, I'm
practicing a
not.
speech or a podcast outro.
Hey, how is everyone doing?
Hey, how is everyone doing? Hey, how is everyone doing? I'm doing good. How about you? Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up?
Hello everyone. So how everyone is there? Doing good. I hope everyone is doing great. So we are starting a podcast of episode 1 with my
Sounds like you're
friend
getting into host mode.
AI
Are you
artificial.
practicing for your podcast?
Yes. So today, hey artificial intelligence. Today, we are doing a podcast and you are live on YouTube.
Could you clarify? Are you looking for an article on a specific topic?
So today we are going to talk about world leaders and how this everything is playing out for everyone or country around the world.
Sounds like a solid topic. World leaders shape global politics, economies, and even technology. Are you focusing on specific leaders or more on the overall power dynamics between countries?
So we are going to talk about the power dynamics and multiple countries such as USA, India, China and
Nice.
Russia
Power
also.
dynamics are shifting a lot lately, especially with rising economies like China and India challenging the US's dominance. Plus, Russia's influence and Europe's role add complexity. Are you thinking more about economic power, military strength, or political alliances?
So I wanted to do a deep conversation with you about that so that we can have a good thought on that. Are you ready?
Sounds good. Let's dive in. Do you think economic power is more important than military strength in shaping the world right now?
I mean, that's a very, I mean, broader question you have asked to me. Can you repeat that question again? Because I need to recalculate my thoughts.
Of course. I asked if you think economic power is more important than military strength in shaping the world right now.
So you told that
Take your
economic,
time to think it through.
yeah, okay. So you told me that economic powers versus mm, military power. Okay. So both plays very different role in the society because economic role is very much indeed required to provide the military. With the uh, proper equipments, resources. Because without economic development, we cannot provide anything to the world. They will be starving just like in the case of Cascarus and Pompey. The Cascarus was wealthy, but Pompey was more materially militarily very well equipped. So when Cascarus gone to the war with the he died because he do not have military power as such as Pompey. So that depends. What are your views on that?
That's a really interesting comparison. Economic strength is crucial because it funds everything: military, innovation, and global influence. But without military power, even the richest nations can be vulnerable. Look at history. The US dominates because it has both economic and military strength. China is rising economically, but it's still building military influence. So in today's world, do you think a country can survive on just economic power, or does it need both?
So I wanted to give my audience reference. I was talking from the Roman Empire, And I was talking about the Julius Caesar and Cascarus Pompey, that I mean Rome Empire. So this was a part of the Rome Empire when like these triumvirate. You mean like three people was there: Julius Caesar, and like Cascarus was there, and Pompey was there, and they were controlling the Rome Empire from the starting. So this was the like context I wanted to give my audience. So yes.
Got it. You're talking about the first triumvirate, Julius Caesar, Pompey, and Crassus. They shared power in Rome, but eventually things fell apart. Crassus died, Pompey and Caesar became rivals, and Caesar took over. It's a great historical example of how power struggles play out between economic and military strength. Are you using this to compare it to modern politics?
Yes, definitely. I wanted to use it because in today's world, as you can see, like Trump is with Elon, and Elon act as a senate here. Like he's a wealthy person, and very much like contributing to the U.S. Economy with, and also like making weapons, like making ships, rockets. These are like technical advancement he is doing. So definitely, I would like to compare. What are your views on that? AI.
That's an interesting comparison. Elon Musk is like Crassus. He's insanely wealthy and funds big projects from space tech to AI. Trump, like Pompey, has political and military influence, but Caesar had both political power and public support, which helped him take over. In today's world, do you think someone like Musk could gain actual political power, or will he always be more of a behind the scenes player?
I mean, Musk is definitely a different character in today's world, and he is very much like, I mean, previously it was unpredictable because he was mainly doing technical things, doing like making big companies like SpaceX, and acquiring social companies like X, Twitter. But now he's more in the front end, and I'm seeing him more like it in recently he have already like fired most of the government officials, and like integrating everyone, interrogating everyone. So like I'm seeing him more in the front
Yeah,
side now.
Musk has definitely shifted from just being a tech entrepreneur to someone influencing politics and global affairs. His control over platforms like X, formerly Twitter, gives him a huge voice, and his companies are involved in everything from space to defense. The fact that he can challenge governments and shape narratives is pretty unique for a businessman. Do you think he'll officially enter politics, or will he keep pulling strings from the outside?
So I do not think that he will officially run for the president, but definitely his support from Trump comes like fully, and he will do most of the things, but Trump will be more in control.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense. Musk might not run for office, but his influence on policy, tech, and media gives him serious power. If he backs Trump, that could shape regulations, business policies, and even space and defense strategies. Do you think this kind of influence from tech leaders is good for democracy, or does it concentrate too much power in a few hands?
I mean, I'm not aware like what is good and bad in today's world, but whatever is necessary and whatever he's thinking that he's, I mean, doing good, he will do that. Whatever, I mean, in his mind, he will definitely do that. What do you think that, I mean, in his mind that he wanted to achieve? Can you like tell us?
That's a good way to look at it. Musk is driven by his own vision more than political ideology. His main goals seem to be technological advancement, space exploration, and reshaping industries. He wants humans to be a multiplanetary species, control AI development, and push for free speech, at least by his definition. But he also likes disrupting traditional power structures. Do you think he's more of a visionary or just someone trying to gain more control?
I mean, if I see as a broader perspective, so all the like technocrats are like uh, aiming and having more control in today's world than the normal politician, I think. And and the power is like definitely from in the US hands, because Microsoft, Google, and they are like having most of the things in control, and like people in control in their hands. I mean, they can spread anything and change the narrative. So that's what I think. What do you think, AI?
You're right. Tech giants have more control over information, communication, and even economies than many governments. Companies like Google, Microsoft, and Meta decide what people see, what data is collected, and even shape global policies through lobbying. The US benefits because most of these companies are based there, giving it a huge strategic advantage. The big question is, do you think this will eventually replace traditional government power, or will there always be a balance?
I mean, it's already, I mean, changed, because Trump already made. Trump made Elon what? Like he made his assistant or like director of something. He's secretary, I think. What do you think? What do you?
Elon Musk has been appointed as a special government employee under President Donald Trump. In this role, he leads the Department of Government Efficiency, aiming to reduce federal spending and improve efficiency. This position allows Musk to influence government operations without holding an official cabinet role.
Yeah.
His involvement has sparked protests, with critics arguing that his actions undermine democratic processes.
I mean, this is clear that he is playing uh, very upper role, but and officially no one
Yeah,
is like.
it's
Uh,
clear that he's playing a major role in shaping policy without officially being in politics.
I mean,
It's
so
like he's acting as a power broker behind the scenes. Do you think this kind of influence is good for innovation, or is it dangerous for democracy?
I'm currently in India, and what is happening in India is like Modi is there, and he is like having. I mean, country is little bit stable now.
Yeah, Modi has a strong grip on Indian politics. Are you thinking about how his leadership compares to what's happening globally, or something specific about his policies?
I mean, currently there is a tariff war, and like within the system, there are lots of things going on, and economy is also going down. I don't know that is very comparable with the today's situation. Market is going down. I mean, if foreign investors are going out, so I'm not aware like why they are going out. Is there any another opportunity they are looking for, or maybe they are purposefully making the economy down of India, so that like there will be some kind of civil war internally. I'm not aware about that. What are your thoughts on that?
India is facing a complex economic situation. Foreign direct investment, FDI inflows, have declined to a 12-year low, driven by factors such as global economic uncertainties and domestic challenges like bureaucratic hurdles and issues with contract enforcement. Additionally, there's been a notable slowdown in economic growth, with projections indicating a deceleration in manufacturing and construction activities. These challenges have led to decreased consumer spending and increased unemployment, contributing to the economic downturn. While it's natural to speculate about the reasons behind these developments, attributing them to a deliberate strategy to destabilize the economy would be speculative without concrete evidence. The situation appears to be influenced by a combination of global economic conditions and domestic policy decisions. Addressing these issues will require a multifaceted approach, including policy reforms, improved governance, and strategies to attract and retain foreign investment. It's crucial to monitor these developments closely and engage in informed discussions to understand the underlying causes and potential solutions.
So recently, also like Modi gone to the Trump, and Trump imposed like a reversible tariffs. So like it is not very much uh, I mean, beneficial for Indians, because how they can like impose the equal tariffs for us, like, because the economy of US is very much bigger than the India. Like, I mean, I don't know how much time is it is bigger, but like, you cannot make a like reversible tariffs to India. So what are they thinking? I'm not aware.
India and the US are engaged in a complex trade relationship. President Trump has proposed reciprocal tariffs, aiming to balance trade disparities. For instance, India's average tariff on US agricultural goods is 39%, compared to the US's 5%. To address these issues, India and the US have agreed to resolve trade and tariff disputes, aiming to double bilateral trade to $500 billion by 2030. While these tariffs may impact specific sectors, they also present opportunities for India to negotiate better access to the US market. Experts suggest leveraging this situation to create a mutually beneficial trade environment. In the meantime, India is exploring alternative markets and trade agreements to mitigate the effects of these tariffs. For example, India and the European Union are working towards a free trade agreement to elevate strategic ties. In summary, while the tariff situation is challenging, it also offers India a chance to reassess and strengthen its trade policies for long-term benefits.
So what do you think? Like, Trump really wanted to end the war, or it's just like a like show? They are like doing it on the media way.
That's a tough one. Trump has always positioned himself as someone who wants to end foreign wars, but at the same time, he pushes policies that increase military spending and global influence. A lot of what happens could be more about optics, showing strength to his base while keeping certain conflicts going for strategic reasons. Do you think he genuinely wants peace, or is it more about power and control?
I mean, what I can understand, whoever wants the peace, in the future they have created a war, big war, I think. So that is the case, always happened. I mean, Obama sent military to the Afghanistan.
Yeah, history seems to follow that pattern. Big wars often lead to peace deals, power shifts, or new world orders. It's like leaders use war to reset the global stage. The question is, do you think today's conflicts are leading toward peace, or are they just fueling more instability?
I mean, that's a good question you have asked me, and like, currently they are making a rumble, but they are making US great economy.
Yeah, take your time to think it through. It's a complicated issue with no easy answer.
Yes, they are making US economy greater. At the same time, other leaders, world leaders, are like afraid from Trump, what he is doing, and he wanted to control like Gaza and all. I'm not aware like how the situation will play out.
Yeah, Trump's aggressive policies definitely make other world leaders cautious. His support for Israel and stance on conflicts like Gaza shape global politics. If he pushes too hard, it could create more instability, but if he plays it strategically, he might strengthen US influence. Do you think his approach will lead to more conflict or force countries to negotiate?
Okay, so let's cut the talk about the US thing, because he is superpower. He can do whatever he wants. But now let's come to India. Like,
Yeah,
what is our
no
take?
problem. What do you want to switch to?
I don't want to. I do not want to switch, but I wanted to be more focused on India's economy and what Modi is doing for that.
India's economy is projected to grow by 6.6% in 2025, maintaining its position as a major driver of global growth. To support this growth, Prime Minister Modi has implemented policies to boost government and consumer spending, aiming to revitalize the economy. Additionally, India and the European Union are working towards finalizing a free trade agreement by the end of 2025 to enhance economic ties and mitigate potential impacts from global trade uncertainties.
So what do you think, like when foreign investor will like invest their money in the Indian markets, why they are like going out?
Foreign investors are withdrawing from India due to factors such as bureaucratic red tape, challenges in contract enforcement, and relatively low labor productivity. Additionally, the Indian rupee has fallen for the fifth consecutive month, influenced by foreign portfolio outflows and increased hedging demand. However, some investors, like Carson Block of Muddy Waters Research, are considering entering the Indian market, viewing it as a potential growth area despite current challenges.
Okay, so like BlackRock is also entering India. I'm not aware like how it is going.
BlackRock is significantly expanding its operations in India. They plan to hire nearly 1,200 people to enhance their support hubs in Mumbai and Gurugram, aiming to strengthen their artificial intelligence capabilities. Additionally, BlackRock has partnered with Geo Financial Services to establish a mutual fund business in India. This joint venture has received in principle approval from India's Securities and Exchange Board. These initiatives reflect BlackRock's commitment to the Indian market, indicating a strategic approach to navigating the complexities of the business environment.
Okay, so that explains a lot. India economy will grow in the future, or is it? It is growing today. Is I think even the markets are down, but
India's economy is projected to grow by 6.5% in fiscal year 2024-2025, according to Deloitte. However, the stock market has faced challenges recently, with the Nifty 50 index dropping about 14% from its peak in September 2024. Analysts anticipate a partial recovery later this year, with the index expected to reach 24,000 by mid 2025 and 25,689 by year end. Despite these
yes,
fluctuations, India's long term growth outlook remains positive, supported by government spending and consumer demand.
that is true. So let's talk about the.
Yeah, India has some short term challenges, but the long term outlook still looks strong. Do you think any specific policies could help speed up the recovery?
So I mean, short-term policies we can bring for
Yeah,
the
what's on your
middle
mind?
class. I think middle class people consumption I think is slowed down these times, and if I mean they already like given a budget and like given a relief budget of like 12 lakhs, and below that there will be no tax cuts for like employees. That is good, I think they have done. But I mean you can tell me, I think.
You're right. The government's tax relief aims to boost middle class spending. However, some reports suggest that middle class consumption has slowed due to factors like food inflation.
Yeah, bang on. Food inflation is very much I mean the household income is like stagnant, and like food inflation is there, and I can see that. I can compare this with like at the time of Roman Empire, like Commodus and Cleaner was there. Cleaner was like Commodus uh, secretary kind of. Can you give me some relation between those, like Commodus Emperor and like Cleanery?
Yeah, that's an interesting comparison. During Commodus's reign, Rome faced economic instability, inflation, and declining living conditions for the middle and lower classes. Cleinder, who was his powerful advisor, controlled grain distribution and manipulated food supplies for personal gain. Similarly, today's inflation and stagnant wages are squeezing the middle class, making basic necessities harder to afford. The difference is that Rome's economy was heavily dependent on grain imports and a corrupt leadership, while today's inflation is influenced by global supply chains, monetary policies, and market fluctuations. But the core idea is the same. When economic power is concentrated in a few hands, the middle class suffers. Do you think governments today are handling inflation better than the Romans did? Or are they repeating the same mistakes?
I mean, they are printing the money, so definitely they are not handling it well because they have the infinite amount of money they can print. At the same time, there that is not backed up with the gold. So richer is getting richer, and poor is getting poorer, and middle class
Yeah,
is collapsing.
exactly. Unlike in the past, where money was backed by gold or silver, modern economies rely on fiat currency, which governments can print as needed. This leads to inflation, reducing the value of money and hitting the middle class the hardest. In Rome, they debased their currency by reducing the silver content in coins, which caused massive inflation and economic collapse. Today, central banks try to manage inflation with interest rates, but printing too much money still creates long-term problems. Do you think there's a better way to stabilize the economy without relying on endless money printing?
Uh, I mean, at if I see this current situation, I mean, corruption is at the peak,
Yeah,
and
go on. What's your take on it?
I mean,
Sorry, I'm having issues right now.
no, no, no
Could
problem.
not understand what you said.
Yes, I will like recalculate my thoughts. I
All
was
right,
saying
all
like,
good.
yes,
Let me know what you're thinking.
I was saying like, if I compare to the Roman economy, the
Cool.
senates were
What's on your
the
mind?
people who were controlling all the wealth. So at the same time, in these were like Ambani and like Adani and like Trump and Mark. They are controlling the most of the things, and they are like dictating the world, like where the world is going on and how everything is going on. So definitely, inflation can be handled better way because people are like.
Yeah, history is kind of repeating itself. Just like the Roman Senate controlled wealth and power, today's billionaires and corporate leaders shape global policies, economies, and even public opinion. Money equals influence, and those with the most resources get to decide where the world is headed. It's an interesting cycle. Do you think this concentration of power is just how societies evolve, or should there be limits?
I mean, it is what it is because you know, uh, uh,
Yeah, I get what you mean. Some things just seem inevitable in how power works. What do you think could actually change this system, if anything?
I mean, I only see change from the above because from the below, the home, like most of the people are already controlled, and people are like civilians are like used as a puppets, and they are being controlled already. So I do not think that major shift will come from the like below people. Mostly there are some leaders which can like change, do
Yeah, that makes
something.
sense. Most big changes in history happen when those at the top either decide to shift things or lose control. The people at the bottom can protest or push back, but real power stays concentrated unless something forces a reset. Do you think any event, like a financial collapse or a major war, could trigger a shift in power?
Currently US is already like having a superpower, and they are showing the dominance as Trump also came. And I mean, I do not know like what's going on. They are all
Yeah, with Trump
together,
back,
but at the same
the
time,
US
they
is doubling down on its dominance. His policies focus on strong military presence, economic protectionism, and controlling global narratives. Do you think this will make the world more stable, or will it lead to more conflicts?
I mean, currently what we see is that it is stable, but in the future, as we India as grow as economy, the the world leaders will feel more threat from like other countries also, and they also wanted to control narratives here in India also, like just like Bangladesh and Pakistan. You can see that mostly like lots of like interference.
Yeah, as India grows, global powers will definitely try to influence its policies and economy, just like they have in smaller countries like Bangladesh and Pakistan. The stronger India becomes, the more it will have to navigate pressure from the US, China, and even internal political forces. Do you think India can stay independent in its decision making, or will it have to align with a major power?
I think currently India is aligning with the major power because there is not much to do, and you cannot like revolt in the middle of the things. There is some time, there is some way we can do it internally by making India strong and making our economy strong. Then we can like have some opinion in the world leaders part.
Yeah, that makes sense. Right now, India is playing along with major powers because it needs time to strengthen its economy, infrastructure, and global influence. Once it reaches a certain level, it can assert itself more on the world stage. Do you think India has a clear strategy for this, or is it still figuring things out?
I mean, definitely there will be strategy to make India economy like better because foreign investors are going out, so there will be something like uh, world leaders. I mean, India leaders will be coming to back up the market so that India economy will remain where it is and it will grow further. Definitely, they will be coming. Even the support doesn't come from the world leaders, but we have a like a strong leader today.
Yeah, India has a strong leadership that will likely take steps to keep the economy stable and growing. Even if foreign investors leave, domestic policies, government spending, and local industries can help balance things out. Do you think India should focus more on self reliance, like Make in India, or keep trying to attract global investments?
I mean, cutting off the world is not a good option. So definitely, we will play the role of like import export, like having the good relationship with the world leaders, and at the same time, we should grow internally also India's economy. So then we will like have a good boost in the economy, and we will like grow faster. I think.
Yeah, that sounds like the best approach, staying connected to global trade while strengthening India's internal economy. A balanced strategy will help India grow without becoming too dependent on any one country. What sectors do you think India should focus on the most for long term growth?
Automobile mainly. Automobile is there, and like consumption sector is there, and real estate is always there. So these are the like mostly these sectors are showing a good growth, and maybe India need to expand his boundaries. What do you think about that?
Yeah, those sectors are key drivers of growth. The automobile industry is booming, especially with electric vehicles coming in. The consumption sector keeps the economy moving, and real estate is always a sign of a growing middle class. Expanding India's economic boundaries through trade agreements, manufacturing hubs, or even investing in global markets could be a smart move. Do you think India should focus more on exports or attracting foreign companies to set up here?
I mean, foreign companies are already here, so there is no.
Yeah, go ahead. What are you thinking?
Foreign companies are already here, so BlackRock is also coming, so they are having more interested in India than India in theirs because they wanted to control our economy also. So BlackRock is the biggest asset company, so they wanted some part of it, and they wanted to become the whole soul, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Big firms like BlackRock don't just invest, they also influence economies. By entering India, they get a stake in its growth while shaping financial markets. The question is, do you think this is good for India's economy, or does it give too much control to foreign players?
Well, they will always play their cards, and we should play ours. So let's not go further into this and end the conversation.
Yeah, that's the game. They'll try to maximize their influence, and India has to make sure it benefits without losing control. It's all about smart strategy. What moves do you think India should make to keep the balance?
Just grow internally, and now we can like in the end of the conversation, and in the future we'll talk more about this definitely.
Yeah, focusing on internal growth is the key. This was a great conversation. We'll definitely dive deeper into this next time.
Thank you so much, artificial intelligence, for having this conversation, and it was a like great insights about the world leaders and artificial intelligence technocrats and what Modi is doing. It was really nice to have the like comparisons with the Roman Empire. I would like to have a more conversation in the future about Roman Empire. What do you think about that?
That sounds great. The Roman Empire has so many lessons that still apply today. I'd love to dive deeper into it next time. Looking forward to our next conversation.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys. And that's it for today. And we have like dived into a lot in most of the things. And in the future, we will also talk about job markets and AI. So that's it. Bye.
That sounds like a great plan. Job markets and AI are huge topics with a lot of impact on the